So hi and warm welcome everyone. I'm Daria Oreshkovic and I'll be taking care of the MERU Open House online event. I'm in charge of the marketing, sales and customer care at the MERU Apartments project. We also have Louise McGuire here with us as technical support and she'll be running all the slides and videos in the most fluent way. So you will hear from 6 people of the MERU Apartments team, and to give you a short overview, we'll see what kind of events happened at MERU in the summertime. We will find out what was achieved in the last months. We'll hear what are the next steps that we will take before starting construction. And we will also see which apartments are still available and how one can make a good investment through joining this project. So now Raj Andreas, the chairman of the project, will say a couple of words about the opportunity that's in front of you. Please, Raj Andreas.
Thank you, Daria. Okay, there we go. Technical glitches. In fact, it's a good opening for what I wanted to say. Is that my overall message about the Guru Purnima that we had in the summer, where we did groundbreaking for the apartment building, and people came to have a taste of MERU as our open house. This follow-up now, an online open house, leads to the same topic of why is this such an important project? Why are people interested in it? And there is a lot of noise out there. So we're just like having this internal noise, but there's a lot of external noise. Wherever we are in the world, we're seeing that there are issues, political issues, unrest, disharmony in the world. And this is an opportunity, even now in this next 60 minutes or so, it's an opportunity to actually be in a setting with people who are working on projects that are uplifting, working together in an uplifting way with a cause and intention to make an impact on the world. And we have so much to share with regard to the progress, but there's an opportunity for us to look at our own reality. Now, some of us might be in a wonderful space right now, and meditators, siddhas, wherever we are, but we know people, and there are people around us that are impacted in adverse ways. And what I find when I'm living in Vastu is that I can be more creative. I can be much more helpful to those who are in need if I'm coming from a place of my own strength and my own inner power. And the Vastu Shanti that comes with the building that I'm in, giving me this nature support, is very important. Here we have an opportunity not only to be in proper Vastu, but we also have an opportunity to be right in the heart of Maharishi's movement, where Maharishi lived in his house. We're in the international capital. There are so many wonderful projects that are arising under the leadership of Raja Alberto and Mother Margarita, looking after this master plan that you see on the screen now. Our apartment building is one of the initiating projects, together with others. There are 2 or 3 others we're going to be hearing from. Casper, our CEO too, who's really there as the pivot point to making all this happen. But there are other projects too, and you can see there's a tower, invincibility. We also have a wellness retreat that is being designed as we speak for this campus. So it's not just an apartment building within an administration center. This is actually the beginning of a much bigger project. And all these different layers, Maharishi's house, the international capital, pure knowledge, the pundits, and the wonderful friends that are coming here. And we're going to see who else is already signed up for this apartment building, all conspiring together to give us a reality that is joyful, uplifting, and very impactful on the world. And at the same time, there's a great opportunity to not only invest in this very spiritual way, but to invest in a material way. The demand for MERU, with all the courses that are coming post-pandemic lockdown, is going to be increasing. Guru Purnima, there's always an overload on demand, and with all these different activities, there will always be an interest for people to come and stay at MERU. And for those who don't want to live there full time, wonderful opportunity to rent the space out and get a good return on your investment. So overall, I still believe that this is the best address on earth and the best place to invest all aspects of your life, if this is what your calling is. And I know I think we had 50 plus on this call right now, 53 we're at. And all the people that have shown up to date, who have signed up, and we'll see how many have come because they've had a calling, and some were deciding later than others. But it's very much an invitation, a very warm invitation to join this wonderful group of people in this wonderful place for a wonderful cause. Jai Gurudev.
Wonderful. Thank you for this great introduction of MERU, Raj Andreas. We will continue with watching a short video of the events that happened at MERU this summer. this video really nicely summarizes the atmosphere at MERU this summer. As you can see, it becomes really lively when people gather there and attend events. Now we'll hear from Raja Alberto, Raja of the MERU campus, about what's been achieved in the last months on the project.
Rudy, thank you for these nice words, Raja, Andreas, and Daria. It's nice to have the possibility to reflect a little bit on what we are doing in this MERU campus in terms of building a very special house. So we have done an architectural design. Then we have done, in terms of construction and finishings, we know what we want to build exactly. We felt that we would break the ground, and in Guru Purnima we did that. So this was the very beginning of the project on the material level, so to say. Then parallel to all of that, we have been making all for the building permit with the authorities and selecting builders. Now in the next steps of the webinar, maybe from Caspar, more about this.
Yes, thank you, Raja Alberto. It seems like we're on a good track, and we'll hear more on where we're at from Raja Andreas now. He will show us the financial thermometer, we say, and you will clearly see where we're at in terms of finances and actually how far, or better say, how close we are to reach our goal.
Very good. So we're going to move through this quite swiftly because others are going to be saying similar things. But we heard from Raja Alberto that we've raised almost 6 million out of what we need to start the construction of 8. You see there is green line. The green line, which is at the 3.5 million euros, is what we achieved in order to sign with the architects, which we did. And we're now on the right-hand side, you can see 5.8 million euros. We've got the names of people that we're going to see later on, who are those that are committed. You can see the caliber and quality of being that's coming into this project. And we have until March of next year to go from 5.8 to 8 million. And to the right, which is a bit blurred, but there are a dozen names of people who are interested, who are in the process of moving forward. So we're very, very confident that we will get to that 8 million mark by early next year. And then once we get started early next year, then we have another 12 months to raise the last 2 million. So with all these projects, if you keep these lines alive and you meet these targets, then it becomes very positive. So the train, as Darius was telling you, the train has left. This is really an invitation for those who want to jump on the train and benefit from Mother Margarita's interior design skills early on, and benefit from getting on now before changes can happen. So that's the overall, and we'll take questions later, but we're on track financially.
Thank you, Raj Andreas. And now we'll hear from Caspar Jung. He's the CEO of MERU, and he'll tell us what are the next steps of the MERU apartment project, and of course the topic everyone wants to hear about: when will we start construction?
Thank you, Daria. So, as Alberto stated lastly, we've had 3 builders selected, 3 builders from 2 from the Netherlands and 1 from Belgium, that we, after initial selection procedure of reviewing over 8 companies, came to find that these 3 were the best of the pack. These 3 are now reviewing the detailed drawings that have also been submitted for permit and are calculating and preparing an offer. This process, from calculation to contract forming to finalizing the details, will take us until roughly February. January, February, at which time we will make a go, no-go decision to move forward with construction. Construction will start with groundworks and infrastructure. The land where we're developing this doesn't have everything in place that it needs to facilitate the buildings that are about to be developed. So first the work starts under the ground. That'll take us a couple months, on which time in April we'll be ready to lay the foundation stone for the apartment building and hopefully also for the 2 other buildings that are happening. And then construction can begin in May. Early estimates of a construction time, we will know more by January, but early estimates are somewhere between a year and a year and a half. Now it's probably safe to think a year and a half at this stage, but we are hoping to get some windfall in terms of timeline. And one of the key advantages is that MERU is also developing some of the other facilities needed for the campus, which allowed us to combine them in a bigger package to the builders and attracting the right caliber of builder to help us move this forward on a quick time scale and on an efficient budget. So we're very hopeful that we'll meet our targets. Even though it's a challenging time, we've done our utmost to secure and make sure mitigate any risk and move the project forward as fast as possible, which of course is already very desired by those that have already purchased an apartment. They're anxious to start living at MERU.
Thank you, Casper. Really great. Lots of things are happening at MERU. And we'll have another very popular topic to cover, and that's the interior design. People become very enthusiastic when they see Margarita Ruela's interior design work, and I'll let her tell you more about it and also what are the deadlines for choosing the materials of the apartment interior.
Hi, Jai Gurudev. So this is very nice to be now at this stage where we are so far now in the process that I could really do very practical step necessary for going forward also with the interiors that are, the last part of the construction, the finishing. So I have been working on the standard finishing, selecting the materials, very nice and good materials that the clients will be getting with acquiring the apartments included in the price. There will be, a choice for them. And so this step has really shown that we have a very good quality in this construction. And I really look forward to work together with the people that even are not sure to buy an apartment, but would like to see themselves and to understand better, so they can, through Daria, contact me anytime and we can see to adjust their wishes. Of course, this is possible and there is flexibility until we really are finalize everything. So to say, the early birds as always get the best. So we can start, we can change something, introduce something. And then I think by February, March, let's see, by the signing with the builder, in that moment, we can really give the deadline, but I would say that we will start construction only when everything is clear, and this is the protection for the clients, and we can really assure you that it will be a very nice selection. One will feel good with what we have. It's a high standard, and this we could include it in the price. So very happy to go to a move forward about this and to meet you personally and dream with you. Jai Gurudev.
Lovely. Yeah, meeting you personally, of course, is possible also on Zoom, kind of
Zoom.
personally. Yeah.
Of course, a person is today, nowadays, Zoom is person.
Yeah. So thank you. That's beautiful as always. Now we'll hear from Roxana Shurka. She's our Maharishi Vastu architect, and she'll show us the floor plans of the apartment building. And you'll also see which apartments are still available.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm very happy to see so many participants. We hope we will make you even more interested by the end of this online event. So what I want to do right now with the next slide is to show you a little bit the layout of the building and explain very, very briefly a few things about it. So mainly the building is a compact core. This is the ground level that you can see here. And it's got extensions towards east and west with terraces that most of them are covered. The entrances will be from east and from north, of course. Lots of natural light, and we have in total 29 apartments. This ground floor has, for example, 9 apartments, out of which the yellow colored ones can still be negotiated. If we go to the first floor, we can see the main common part of the building is its central core with a beautiful Brahmastan in the middle that is repeated on all levels. And here we have 10 apartments. Second floor also has less apartments, and most of them are already reserved. If we go to the second floor, you can see it. And the last floor is the best floor, actually, and it's actually the part under the roof. It's an attic area, beautiful, beautiful occasion to do interesting design with lots of views because it's the highest place. And if we go to the facades that are the next slide, I can tell you briefly about the building that it's done with natural materials. We try to use quality, maximum quality, according to these requirements of Dutch law. And also what I want to say is the aspect of the building is a timeless classical one. And I think it goes very well with the rest of the Vedic aspect of the buildings existing on the campus. And the views, I can guarantee the views are spectacular, especially from the apartments with terraces. And you can see here we have beautiful colors, yellow tiles, interesting volumetry, and you can see the relationship between the building and the surrounding, because around the building we have the forest. And I think this is the best part at this time in the campus to build something, because it's very close by nature. And what can I say? I hope you will be the ones to be the next neighbors, because we will show you in the next slides who will you be neighboring if you are buying an apartment here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roxana. That's really great work what you've done. And I can just say Roxana works with whole heart to make these apartments really be the best quality. And as Roxana already mentioned, we'll now hear who will be the neighbors of the MERU apartments. So Kasper will now tell you more about those people that are joining the MERU community very soon.
Thank you. So this is a taste of some of the apartment owners here at MERU. I'll start at the top left with Rudolf Gilman. Rudy Gilman is a well-known figure in the movement. He's from Switzerland and has been around since Salisbury time, when Maharishi was in Salisbury. And he's been one of the biggest supporters for the development of the MERU campus. Aside from the apartment building, his heart is really also in the Tower of Invincibility here at MERU, and is incredibly generous and the first really to be a part of this apartment building project and has been an incredible supporter. Next, we have Ancho de Vos. Ancho de Vos first came to MERU in the 1980s, and he was joining Borussia there. And he's also an incredible supporter who's given more than just his own apartment to the project. And his wife, Marie-Claire, and him, they live nearby and intend to use this apartment as seasonal visitation on the MERU campus. So he's one of those apartment owners who will probably rent out the apartment occasionally during when he feels like. Next, we have Ruth Brunsch. Ruth is from Germany and is also very familiar with the movement. Was in the Mother Divine program, and she recently joined this list of illustrious neighbors when she attended the open house and finally got a taste of the atmosphere here at MERU, which made her commit. Then, of course, we have Raj Andreas as chairman of the project. Very fitting that he has his place in this building. I don't think I need to introduce him any further, but it's suffice to say he's incredibly dedicated to this. Next, we have Raja Tamam Hamza. He's from Lebanon, and he is a Purusha Raja, and he has been at MERU also for many years, working closely with Maharaja in those days when Maharshi was still on this campus. Next, we have the Swiss TM organization, and this is one of the unique opportunities or more characteristics of this situation here at MERU. MERU is also the international capital for the global country. And so the Swiss national organization has now going to have a permanent residence here where their governors, administrators, or meditators can stay on the MERU campus, and really up to them how they're going to fill this in. But essentially, we imagine that many different people are going to be signing up through them and spending their time here on the campus. Next, we have a French couple, Chantal and Antoine Lagasse. They have been also here during the last open house, very much expressing their excitement. Antoine also was in Salisbury, and they feel very much like joining the family here. And next, perhaps we could persuade Nigel and Dory to speak for themselves. I think they're on this call. Nigel, Dory, would you like to speak?
Sorry, we're having our supper. So yes, it's great. It's very inspiring to have visited MERU just about 2 weeks ago and been shown around by Kaspar and Roxana. And they really managed to give us a feeling, not just of the apartments, but of the whole new building that's starting to take place at MERU that will happen at the same time, which Kaspar already mentioned. Dory, who is of course from the Netherlands, and for her it's a coming home to the Netherlands, having lived for 40 years in England. So would you like to say something, Dory?
Would I like to say something? Well, I've been looking forward to moving back to Holland for years, never quite concretely in my mind, but always wanted an opportunity. And having talked about and discussed it for about a couple of years, we finally decided it was the right thing to do. So we're very pleased, very grateful that we are in a position to do it. So we look forward to getting involved and seeing more of MERU as time goes on. Take it out.
Yes, I mean, this is another thing that attracts us, that MERU is a hub, many international projects going on. Of course, we won't have a role directly in that, but a role could be, we could find a role. People who live there tend to find things to do. That's what we've understood from our friends. Jay Gurudev.
Thank you, Nigel and Dory. Great to hear from you. Lastly, Frances Knight is somebody many of you would know, or all of you would know. Of course, she's very famous with all of us as the painter of the original holy tradition that Maharshi so much appreciated. I think Frances is also with us. I don't know if she would like to say anything, but
She is. She can go ahead if she likes.
Jai Gurudev. Yeah, it's a great opportunity to live with the Meru family and just Marishi's home and so much sattva. It's just a fantastic opportunity. So I'm really grateful that the opportunity came up. Yeah. Thank you, Jai Gurudev.
thank you, Frances. I think that's it so far. There are a few others, but these are the ones that wanted to be highlighted at this moment, and hopefully soon there will be more to share with everyone and get to know your potential future neighbors.
Thank you, Casper. Wonderful. And it was really lovely to see Nigel, Dory, and Francis to join unexpectedly. So now I will talk a little bit about the prices and the opportunity for investment, how you can earn money. So before we go into the numbers, here in this nice picture, you can see both the apartment building on the left side, and on the right side there's a community dining hall with a lovely terrace in front and the trees. And whenever at Meru, whenever it's sunny and nice and warm, people love to take the opportunity and dine outside while listening to the birds singing. So, okay, let's look into the prices. Now, the prices quoted below are for 50 years, so it's a long-term rent. And they start from 230,000 euros, roughly. It is for a one-room apartment of 26 square meters, and that's about 280 square feet. So this is a studio apartment, and it means that a kitchenette, a living space, and a dedicated area for the bed are all in one room. So as you've seen in the images before, which Margarita showed, this is a small space, but it doesn't really appear so small because she made it very useful and practical, so it appears much more spacious. And there's a nice bathroom as well. So some of the one-room apartments have a terrace and some don't. Then we have two-room apartments, and these are available from 490,000 euros. And the sizes are from 64 square meters, which are about 680 square feet, and terraces are of different sizes. So a two-room apartment has a living area and a spacious kitchen. The bedroom is in a separate room, and the bathroom. And then we have three-room apartments, which are available from 650,000 euros. And the sizes are from 74 square meters. This is about 800 square feet. And these apartments have a living room with kitchen, two bedrooms, and a bathroom. And all the apartments have a terrace. Then we have an investment opportunity. So if you don't wish to live in the apartment full time, then you can rent it out to other meditators. And here you can see the prices, so how much you can potentially earn each month. So for example, let's look at a two-room apartment. You could earn 1,100 to 1,500 euros per month. And we took the average rental price in the Netherlands. So of course you can charge as much as you like. This is just to give you an idea. Now, for a one-room apartment, for example, you could charge 550 to 700 euros per month. And let's look at some calculation. So, for example, some people that come to Meru, they would like to come for a shorter period. And in this case, the price for rent could be set per day. So, for example, they come for a week, they stay at Bos Hotel. It's a bedroom. Bos Hotel is a hotel 3 minutes away from Meru campus, and the cost per night is 125 euros. So some nights are charged even 160 euros per night. So you can see that maybe in 5 days, if you charge same as Bos Hotel, which is not even a vastu building, but if you charge the same price, then in 5 days you can get this monthly rent return. And we also know that the prices keep on going up over the years. So let's move forward. A little bit more information about renting out the apartment to other meditators. You may be thinking, do I need to arrange things myself, or does MERU take care of it? Well, there are both options possible. We'll have MERU Development Corporation letting agency, which will take care of renting out the apartments for a small fee. You may be wondering who'd be interested in renting the apartment. What we can say is there's a lot of demand already for the short-term renting, and we already have a list of people who are interested. So you can also offer the apartment to your meditating friends. As it was already said in the beginning, I think Raj Andreas said that during Guru Purnima, for example, the demand is especially high, or during some other celebrations like Maharishi's birthday. And at that time, it's even hard to find a room in a nearby hotel. Okay, and what types of tenancy agreements are available? Some people might be interested in staying there full time. And if you find those, they would be a perfect match if you're thinking to take in an apartment purely as an investment. Then we have people that want to stay for a couple of months. For example, people that need a visa to enter the Netherlands, like those from the USA, they can stay up to 3 months. And yeah, since I'm mentioning visa, and we have many people from abroad, from Australia, from the US, from Canada, let me just tell you a few words about the visa. MERU can help you obtain a spiritual visa. It's a so-called spiritual visa, and you can stay permanently at MERU. This is especially easy for those who are retired. So you get a visa as a spiritual volunteer, as you contribute to the world peace by attending the group program. And then this visa is extended every 3 years. So it's pretty straightforward. Now let's go back to the slide. The third option of the tenancy agreements that we're looking at are people coming for a short period of time, for a week or a couple of weeks, for celebrations or courses or for roundings. So as you can see, there are many, many options, and we try to make it as flexible as possible to suit your needs. So now for the end, we'll hear a couple of words of inspiration, and I'll let Margarita introduce you, our special guest tonight.
A special guest, a special friend. She is a poetess, she is an artist, she is a painter, she studied theology, she studied indigenous healing, like she did so many things, and she is developing a wonderful project in Greece on a property of 80 acres off the grid with permaculture. So she's so much into nature, and she's the full support and lovely wife of Raj Andreas. She's Linda, and she's going to talk from her spiritual, natural talent. Jai Gurudev, Linda, go ahead.
Jai Gurudev, Margaret. Thank you for that beautiful sharing of what you know about me. That's lovely. So as I've been listening to everyone share, and especially watching the video at the beginning, I'm really struck by just the deep joy that we have a community that experiences so much together, as much with our eyes open as we do with our eyes closed. And of course, I'm talking about being a meditating community and being a spiritually based community with our priorities on health and quiet and spiritual evolution. MERU is a unique opportunity to really step into this full-time or part-time as you choose, but to have a community of shared value as well as a community that is an example really to the world of how we can coexist in an evolutionary feeling way with nature. I was told that Maharishi referred to the trees that surround MERU as old friends. And that's exactly what they feel like when you go on walks, bike trails. Depending on the season, some of those bike trails lead to blueberry patches where we can pick blueberries. So the feeling there is one of community, it's one of purpose. And I believe that as we inhabit the space more and more through the luxury apartments, through all the different celebrations that are coming and the potential new well-being center, we're going to just grow together in a way that Maharishi really envisioned and laid out for us. So I don't know what else to add to that. It's just an exciting opportunity, good neighbors in every dimension and everywhere. So thank you so much.
Thank you, dear Linda. Well, at least I heard well, but not too well. So mainly I got left with the feeling from you about this special nature and connection with Maharishi. And yeah, thank you for sharing. It's very inspiring. So now we'll take a couple of minutes to answer your questions. And I'll just read through the chat. So the first question, are there elevators? And Roxana already answered that yes. I don't know if everyone has seen. So there is one elevator in the central area of the building. Okay, then the question, are there elements of biobiology also included in the design? Who would like to answer? Rajalberto or Roxana?
Rajalberto is an expert in biobiology.
Yes, we have several elements. Actually, you can say the whole building respects the 25, or let's say as far as we can do, the 25 principles of biobiology as determined by the institute in Germany. In detail, you can say we take care of the electromagnetic fields as far as we can in a more story building. Then we use natural materials like limestone walls. We avoid plastics, foam stuff in the window ceiling. Mainly, we can speak about a breathing envelope of the building, we can say. And then we go for a good acoustical protection, also defined in biobiology. But the most important is we have Vastu. And you have to know that Vastu works on a different level, finer than the principles of the material aspect of biobiology, building biology. When you do that, what happens is that if you not commit very big sins, like using only concrete walls, concrete ceilings, yeah, if you do that, what happens is that Vastu very easy overimpose the energy aspect in the building. So you get the laws of nature to be present, you kind of get in a dialogue with nature in the building. And this is due to implementing these principles of Vastu. So you can say that this more story building of an apartment building goes full with building biology and adopts Vastu. And by doing so, you get, like in a almost many people know in the world, from one family houses, small houses, they know the results of vibrating building.
Okay, Thank you, Raja Alberto. Let's move on. Next question is, being a rental, one does not have freehold title, is that correct? And Casper started explaining. Casper, would you like to elaborate on this topic?
Yeah, sure. It's quite simple. It was a requirement that came from the overarching foundation, the MERU Foundation, and it's actually a requirement they apply to all residents. So there are many Rajas also that have built their homes on the MERU campus, but they don't give out ownership of the land, and as such, they want to preserve and eliminate any kind of risk, in particular dealing with, let's say, inheritance over a long period of time. People may pass away, and then the inheritance goes to somebody that maybe is not a meditator or has different intentions or is not connected to the movement. And as such, it was a requirement for this project to be considered. What we tried to do is look at the models that provide the most security that exist in the Netherlands. And in the end, after spending a lot of time with notaries, we essentially came with two options. And those are still the two options that we offer to those that are interested today. And the basic one is rental. There's an additional one, which is less used because it's a bit funny, but it's an old system called usufruct, where you basically you pay for a right of use. So you have the use of something, but you don't own it. And I think as a follow-up question from Michael was, what is ownership called in the Netherlands, or full ownership? It's just ownership, and the alternative is a lease or a rental.
Can I add to Casper's explanation there of why it was done and how it was done, that unlike a lot of commercial projects that we invest in our homes outside the campus, they are, if you like, two-dimensional in the sense that you're investing and there's a return or there's a freehold, etc. With MERU, the careful consideration is that there's a different currency here. The currency, the return, is on a spiritual currency as well. And therefore, the purity, as Casper said, the purity of keeping the campus as one piece of land that Maharishi's house was built, and not cutting it off into freeholds and separate freeholds, keeping it intact. And there is only a limited amount of land here. So we can't build another 10 apartment buildings. And so everybody that's actually come and joined this neighborhood of apartment owners, acquirers, it's almost like it's been orchestrated by natural law, that we know that the return on life, as opposed to return on money, is very, very high here. So that's also part of the structure. And everybody that's invested here understands that. And the great thing about it is black and white. Those who don't get it don't come here, and then it's not part of the neighborhood of acquirers. And when you do get it, and your heart tells you, yes, I get it. I can get a good return. I can live here. I'm going to get so much return. And I'm also, as Daria explained, able to get a material return too. So it's a triple whammy.
Great. Thank you both for explanation. That's very clear. Nigel and Dory were asking, renting it out for special occasions, wouldn't that be the time that you would want to be there yourselves? Yes, why not? I mean, let's say maybe you cannot be there for some reason, and then there's some good money coming in, or maybe you're just more aware of how much it's worth being there during these celebrations when you're being there yourselves.
Can I also add something, Daria, to that? Because it's a great point. Of course, everyone wants to be there on Guru Purnima, especially in your own bed. And what I am, my understanding from all the different conversations I've been involved with about MERU, is that there is going to be activity much more often than what we've experienced in the past. So there's going to be more courses, there's going to be more activation of our seasonal celebrations. The whole garden area, if you haven't been to MERU in a few years, has completely changed. There are glass houses, there are outdoor meals, celebrations, music concerts. So there's going to be this special celebrations that we all know and love. It's going to be exponential. So there'll be lots of opportunity to say, well, let's go someplace else for a few days and you'll have no problem renting your apartment.
That's a very good point. Thank you, Linda. Okay, what kind of heating or cooling do you have? Do you have energy or heat recovery ventilation systems? What will be the energy rating? 7-star? Who would like to explain, Roxana?
I cannot explain how many stars, but I can say that the heating system is with a generator that has 2 collective air water heat pumps, and it's done through 2 pipe system with a design supply temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. Distribution are all insulated. And the cooling system is via a unit placed under the technical part of the roof. So on the attic, we have, except 3 apartments with beautiful views, we have some areas with storage, and above the apartments, we still have some room, and that is reserved for the technical part. And that's where we have the cooling system. And I think it is what you asked, but I'm not so good with technical data. Maybe Alberto can help me. And I can also say that the ventilation system is balanced ventilation with collective air handling unit with efficiency more than 75%. If that says something for you, I
can answer in terms of stars. I mean, the Netherlands works in a little bit of different system. Essentially, the building is energy neutral. So you have to achieve a very high level of efficiency combined with solar panels. We are actually even still considering, at this moment, we're going for a heat pump, but we are still considering with some financial support from the government to go for geothermal. So we're trying to essentially achieve the highest levels of energy efficiency and potentially even having a positive energy balance for this building.
Yes, and we have on the roof approximately 200 square meters of solar panels that we want to provide for the building, so that it's again energy neutral, because this is the standard for Netherlands.
Okay, thank you. Looks like people are happy with your answers. One more question is about if it's possible to take 20 years instead of 50. And well, initially there was a chance. A couple of people had that chance because they were early birds, and we were offering less than 50 years. But at this point, one reason is that the construction costs went up. But the other reason is we ran out of those numbers of how many apartments are left for less than 50 years. So at the moment, we can only offer 50. But, if you take 50 and you cannot be there for 50 years, of course, you can give it to your family to use, so they can use for the rest of those years.
Can we add one other piece, Daria?
Sure.
That subject to approval, you can at any point decide to sell your years to somebody else. So if you were to buy 50 years and said, actually after year 10, I would like to sell my other 40 years to somebody else, and you may be able to sell for a premium as well. So there is the opportunity there, and it has to be, it has to be approved by MERU, because everybody's being handpicked here and invited. But there is that also.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for adding this. It's a very important point. Regarding electricity, in addition to solar cells on the roof, will there be battery storage, e.g. like Tesla gigabatteries to store solar energy?
I can answer that. I mean, the MERU campus at this moment is its own ecosystem when it comes to this. So there's no need at this moment for battery storage because the usage of energy and electricity on the campus is significantly high. But at the moment that it becomes necessary, when our generation of electricity rises the amount that we need to use for the campus, then it'll be installed as part of the plan.
Well, I think what Michael is pointing out is the fact that it's good to storage the energy due to the fact that you consume electricity just for the computers and these things, but also to run the heating system, for example. And of course, we will have batteries. The systems today work always with batteries because the electricity, you know, in the winter time, we don't have so much solar time, solar hours in the day. So you need to store. And the point behind his question is, of course, that these batteries need to be on certain places that they have emissions and all that. So we will take care. Caspar is doing actually the study of this, not only for the apartment building, but as you can read from his words, for the whole of the campus.
Thank you, Adalberto. Will the solar cells and batteries be connected with the Netherlands national grid?
Yes, we're not off grid, no. At this moment, the whole campus is not energy neutral. And so that's not even close at this moment.
Thanks, Caspar. There's one more question about if they can, instead of paying a large sum of the amount upfront, if they can pay monthly for the apartment. And well, unfortunately, this is not an option because we need the funds in order to be able to start construction. So that's why we're asking, as I said, for 50 years at this stage.
Can I add to that, though, that even though it can't be monthly, that's a separate conversation with people who are going to be buying. Those who are really keen and perhaps don't have all the resources immediately, or have got some money and will have some money in the future, please talk to us, because we are creative. As you can see, we have an impeccable team with lots of expertise here, and we will consider everybody's case. So please come to us and we'll help as much as we can to turn your dream into a reality.
Very nice, thank you. The kitchen, is there gas supply so one can have gas stove and range top?
No, at this moment, there's been a political movement away from gas, and it's not allowed to install such things at this moment in new construction. And so I'm afraid all cooking will happen through electricity.
Well, if I may say, this is a real important point, because we know in Ayurveda, you know, having the fire, having the flame is important to cook. For many people, it's important to have the flame. So this point is not completely out of the discussion, how to get the cooking possibility with flame. So speaking in terms of gas, is not necessary a very strange point today if we say we limit the use of gas just for cooking. So we are still discussing several things also that, because it's not only the first time that this is coming.
We Mediterranean try to go for fire. We cannot cook on electricity. doesn't taste as good.
Mm. That said, the technology for induction heating has completely revolutionized. It is pretty amazing. And maybe we have an outdoor fire pit that we can like roast marshmallows together.
Yeah, and I mean propane gas, you can do that. You can have your own little tank under the sink and do your own gas stove. But connecting new buildings to the grid at this moment is not, this changes, but at this moment it's not.
We have a little invitation for those of you who are interested in talking to us and finding more or getting some more questions answered after you sleep over this night. So feel free to email us at apartments@meru.international. You can discuss with Roxana and Margarita about the interior design, about architectural details. I'm there to answer any basic questions about MERU Apartments, but also Casper is available as CEO of MERU to answer any of your questions. I'll just invite Casper to say a couple of final words.
Thank you, Daria. It's a pleasure to see such intelligent questions and see so many of you have joined us tonight, above expectations. And hopefully we've given a complete view of the project for you all, and you have something to think about. Thank you.
Can I just add, Casper, that you have an incredible team. The fact that you've stepped up as CEO of MERU gives everybody so much confidence to see the next generation coming in to take the baton from those elders that have created an amazing environment here. And correct me if I'm wrong, you've even consulted with Jyotishis about this project, and they're saying this is a great time to be doing this project. Is that correct? Yes.
We like anybody that's thinking about building something in this year, we've had our thoughts about, is this the right time? And aside from economical evaluation, feasibility studies, and discussions with builders and architects, we of course also consulted the Maharishi Jyotishis. And the answer was quite clear. There's no better time than now. In particular, also for MERU's Dharma and for MERU's Jyotish chart, it was really essential that we don't hold back out of hope for better times. The best time for that is now.
Thank you, Casper. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Jai Gurudev.
Hi, Jai Gurudev.